The family of Antonio Sanchez recounted how desperate they had been to have the head of their family released from jail. At the Senate hearing on the Good Conduct Time Allowance Law on Thursday, they related how they asked some of the most influential government officials for a recommendation to grant Sanchez an executive clemency. They even included former First Lady Imelda Marcos. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo also issued a letter, but he clarified that it was just a referral, not a recommendation.
Meron po pong address sa akin, sir, Office of the Presidential Legal Counsel. We write in reference to the letter of Mrs. Marie of Antonio Sanchez, signed by Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo. Sino? Salvador Panelo po.
For Senator Ping Lacson, even if it was just a referral letter, there's still a conflict of interest.
It says a lot, and I think we deserve an explanation from him. Kasi kung sa context ng pagiging legal officer ng presidente, okay lang yon kasi tumatanggap talaga sa mga complaints. Pero from the context of being the former defense counsel of Antonio Sanchez, maraming ibig sabihin yon.
But Panelo said he did nothing wrong.
I never recommended anything. In other words, the office just physically act on referring the same to the appropriate agencies.
On February 8, Panelo said he received an email from Sanchez's daughter, Marie Antonelvi. In the email, she asked Panelo, Senator Bongo, and the president to give them a recommendation for her father's executive clemency. Panelo said he did not grant the request. Instead, he sent a referral letter to the Board of Pardons and Parole on February 26.
What is important is when I told them exactly. The Bureau of Corrections will be the one to determine whether or not your application will be approved or not. You can't do anything. We always follow the law.
On March 19, the head of the board, Reynaldo Bayang, answered Panelo's letter, saying that Sanchez's motion for reconsideration had already been denied.
This office, as I said, receives and responds to all letters. We cannot discriminate. Otherwise, we will be accused of being partial and discriminatory.
For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says he will file libel charges against online news outlets Rappler and Inquirer.net over what he perceives are malicious reports regarding his alleged referral letter to the parole board seeking executive clemency for Antonio Sanchez. Panelo singled out the words endorsed and recommended, supposedly used by the two online outfits to allegedly render the referral letter malicious and libelous in nature.
Those articles are reeking with not only responsibility, but with malice. And it is libelous in nature because it imputes an act to discredit me.
The Inquirer said it respects Panelo's right to sue for libel and that it will just refer the matter to their lawyers. While Rappler says the libel threat is a pure diversionary tactic on the part of the president's spokesman. Rappler added that instead of shooting the messenger, Panelo should instead answer questions about his possible conflicts of interest. Among those freed under the rules of the GCTA law were 3 convicted in the murder of the Chong sisters. Malacanang acknowledges the hurt and dismay of the victim's family, but says President Duterte had nothing to do with the release orders. Presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo said the implementing rules of the GCTA law were approved by the Aquino administration. Panelo notes, for example, that the GCTA rule including convicts of heinous crimes for release on good conduct was issued by then Justice Department Secretary Leila de Lima. President Duterte's spokesman said this was the practice of the Bureau of Corrections until Duterte blocked the release of former Calauan Mayor Antonio Sanchez. Panelo says the president has ordered the Justice Department to review the GCTA law and outline plans to bring back released convicts of heinous crimes.